All right. Hey, GM.
Hello.
How are you?
I am awesome. Cheers to
Cheers
champagne and waffles.
to champagne and waffles. Cheers. If you guys are watching us on the live stream, we do have champagne and waffles here. Let me just get the Twitter space started, and then we will be good
Yes.
to go. Start the show. All right. It's Monday. It is Monday, February 20th. It is 10 a.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, the best coast of the United States. Now, Carrie, you are joining us from beautiful Las Vegas, so it is nice and early for you. Did you have while we wait for everything?
7 a.m.
There we go. All right.
I get extra points for that, correct?
Yes. No, absolutely. Especially now that we've got our Twitter space friends watching and listening.
Let me turn mine down.
There you go. All right, cool. I'm going to bring Turbo up as my co-host, and then I will... All right, perfect. All right, so we got the Twitter space all set up. We've got the live stream all set up. All right, let's make this official now. Cheers.
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 Yes. Oh, you actually did take a sip. It's 7 a.m. Wow.
Just a little sip. Just a little sip.
I'm going to be having a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. We do have waffles as well. This is Champagne and Waffles. As you guys know, this is Web3 Breakfast. Joined today by Carrie of the Champagne Wives Club. Super exciting to talk to you about the project, what you guys got going on, what you're doing, what you're bringing to the space, because it's not only a fun wives club with champagne and wine, yes, but there is a very, very, very important cause behind all of it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's just, introduce yourself to everybody in the audience, a little bit about you, where you came from before Web3, and then what brought you here. And then I want to talk about the project because I'm super excited about it.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. What a fun space. And who doesn't love champagne and waffles? I am in Las Vegas, but originally from Georgia. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee back in 2007. I've been in real estate since 2005, or really my whole life, I want to say. But I went to Nashville, and by 2010, 2011, the market was actually not great then. I don't know if those of you that follow real estate, but I ended up buying a brokerage and grew the real estate brokerage into 5 offices. And we did close to $1 billion of sales. It was awesome. So I did that for a decade, but through that time, I started discovering blockchain. 2018, I went out to San Francisco and I was a part of a blockchain society there and talking about, I was clueless, but I was mesmerized. I did not understand anything about it, but I started researching and learning, and I knew I wanted to be involved in the space somehow. This idea, 2020, after all the COVID things, I said, the idea of Champagne Wives Club came about, and some of it came about because when I did have my brokerage, for 10 years, we did Wine Down Wednesday. We would host really 1 to 4 a month, depending, but definitely once a month. And it was all about cheering the successes of people. Champagne is fun, it's celebratory. It's, so it was really to get together in a non-work environment, but still network with your group. And, of course, with realtors, we love to talk about our biggest sell or what we, had accomplished. So I took that idea and I was like, how could I do this though on a global scale? Of course, blockchain is perfect for that, and celebrate the successes of women, but also have an impact for women. And that's when the human trafficking part came in. That is, have a heart for that. And it really took me a while to figure out how could I help with this. So with this journey, we have Champagne Wives Club. We get to explore wine vineyards around the world, but 20% of our proceeds go back to search and rescue, very hands-on about the human trafficking.
That's super important. And as we get, more and more into this Web3 ecosystem, we're starting to see more and more projects have, whether it's a social impact or some kind of community aspect where, hey, listen, we need to do something really good for the world, right? Because you got to think the amount of money that is generated here in this ecosystem, it's it's tremendous, right?
Yes.
Blockchain is the fourth industrial revolution. It is being labeled the largest transformation in the history of humankind, right? So with that being said, it is incumbent upon us as founders, as builders, to do something good for the world with this money that we are able to create by building these massive, amazing communities. And so I think, you for doing that, that's amazing.
Well, what I learned really in the last year being involved in going to events, I was fortunate enough to go to the London NFT conference. I met all of you actually at the Miami event, but it is a very inclusive community. And I do love that. You hear that, but to really feel it, experience it. Everyone is we all have different projects. We all have different angles that we're trying to go about it. But it really is awesome to see people pull together and you think of other businesses, they can be business overall is cutthroat, but at the same time, I love seeing this community grow like it is. I love seeing, as a woman, I'm for all people, but as a woman, it is nice to see entrepreneurs stepping up. And as you said, it changes lives, not only the entrepreneur, but everyone around them and their community. So it's amazing.
Absolutely. No, it is super cool. And it was great to meet you down in Miami. And we met at the Women of Web3 Summit, which I was the MC for, and you were there. You got to speak at the VIP dinner. And it was a great event. It not only to celebrate empowerment of women in this space, but really to push the whole movement forward. And I know that we've got a couple other speakers on the stage, Carrie, that are going to hang out and chat with us. One is Carmen. You know Carmen very well. And the other is Anne with Royal Dreads. Now, Royal Dreads is a project on the Cardano ecosystem. Much like what you guys have, their social impact has to do with human trafficking. So I'm really excited about this conversation today. I think, with some really bright minds in the space and some boss women, I think maybe something will get accomplished today in this Web3 ecosystem that I'm super excited about. So with that being said, I do want to thank everyone for joining us today. This is an opportunity to retweet the room, get more folks in here. This is something that I did. And if you've got the opportunity to do this, guys, do this. I invited my mother and all my sisters and my wife. She's going to pick up her friend at the airport. So they're going to be driving back listening to the show, right? And these are people that traditionally aren't in NFTs. Now, why it's important, I think, to get folks in your life involved, especially with projects like this, is because it's not just about hype. This isn't about monkeys. This isn't about pictures. This is about doing something good for the world. And with that being said, I think that's a great introduction to what Web3 and what NFTs can bring besides just, again, hype and pictures. So Anne and Carmen, I'm glad that you're both here up on the stage. We definitely got some other folks up here, guys. We got Seven, Jeb, Funnel, and Turbo. Appreciate y'all. But Anne, how are you today? I'm super excited that you're going to be part of this conversation. And maybe she's just unavailable at the moment. Carmen, I know you are here.
I see him. I see him on Twitter.
Give me one second. So I got to this stupid audio thing. Give me 1 second. Let me.
Hey, I'm glad you're working that, not me.
This thing likes to do this sometimes where it disconnects the Bluetooth on me right as the speaker in the Twitter space wants to talk.
Let me see.
There we go.
We're checking it right now. I'm watching him on YouTube as well. And so he has lost. Oh, let's see.
There we go. I think we're good.
Right now.
We're good.
And just like that. See, that's the power of two. Go ahead, Ann.
There we go. Thank you, Ann. Sorry about that. Now I could hear Turbo, but if Ann's speaking, I cannot hear.
Okay. Yep. So, Ann, you will have to actually drop down and then drop back up. I'm sorry. Yep. You know how it goes in the Twitter spaces. Elon, if you could help us out a little bit, Elon, that'd be great.
Come on, Uncle Elon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Carmen.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Turbo. Good morning, J Chains. And Carrie, you look so great in pink this morning. If you guys aren't checking out J Chains' YouTube channel, go check it out because we got 2 people on the screen this morning. And the queens are taking over today, Jay.
I know. I'm super excited about that.
We need a cheers.
Um, I know we need to do cheers. Listen, everybody in J Chain's audience knows that it is 7 in the morning, but you know what? This is where Carrie rises above even myself. She is up and full face and
Let's
full
go.
ready because you know what? Exactly. One of the things I love about her is that like she can look straight into the camera with 100% certainty, say, I'm not going to fail because she's already built that business. So up here in the nest, I have shared with you guys some of the most exciting things that I love about Champagne Wives Club, which is their commitment to celebrate women in Web3, which we all know is our opportunity to really come back into a space and set ourselves as leaders. And she's also really started something that gets me pumped up every morning. And we all know how we like to start our day, right? That's why we show up here to Jay Chains' show. But she has her no whining mornings, which she gives us some daily motivation. And on top of that, we just recently did a 1-hour interview with the the co-founder, Laura Parker from the Exodus Road, which is where 20% of every mint goes to help those in need that need to be saved from human trafficking. So
Yes.
just my time of being in Carrie's bubble, I have learned so much. It's motivational. It is watching, women make new standards in this space, and I am all for it.
Heck yeah.
That was an awesome introduction. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate it. And you bring so much to everything. You are so knowledgeable in this space, and I know together we can we'll blaze it. We'll be trailblazers for sure.
Yeah, it's not easy doing it. And regardless if you're a man or a woman in this space, the conditions of the market, the volatility, the uncertainty, we are the ones pioneering the battle. Look, how can we use this system to create some trustless systems instead of trying to navigate through what's real, what's not real? And so projects like this that say, look, first and foremost, we can use the technology of NFTs with certainty to give absolute benefits to those that hold it. It's a transferable benefit. It's something that we can validate 100%, and it makes the community even stronger. And so you take the first step and you build it for that. It's within your wheelhouse. And, you could have come into this space and been like, look, I'm going to turn the real estate industry upside down. But you have experienced over the past year since you have been building all of the challenges, all of the uncertainties, all of the risks that builders take in this space, saying, look, I'm going to invest into this plan, but the environment and the finish line are always moving and changing for me. So I'm going to have to be flexible and adaptable and move along with that. And that journey is never easy. We have to fail fast in order to find what works, and what works may not work sustainably. So we always have to pivot, and there's so many plot twists. So hearing your story, knowing what you have done to build, knowing that you are going to stay flexible, knowing that you are going to persevere through the challenges, that is what communities need from leaders. And that's what we find is our biggest challenge when we're investing, is that we have to believe that the leader is not going to give up. We have to give patience and tolerance that there is going to be nothing but challenges for anybody building.
Absolutely. And I agree with that 1000%. The leader, all leaders, I mean, the companies fail and succeed, I believe, based on who the leader is, the vision and the goals. In real estate, I used to teach the agents, you win who wins or who got the listing or who was the biggest producer really ended up articulating what they did the best. So if you were trying to list a house, you had 10 realtors there, you're only going to pick one. And why did you pick that one? Maybe they made you feel good. Maybe you liked them. But at the end of the day, they articulated what you were looking for in order to get your home sold. And I grew up in business. My first business I opened at 21 years old. I've always been an entrepreneur and always had a company. And I just believe that, when you have the correct goals, vision, and it's executed and articulated properly with the right team around you, you will succeed. And I see that the same in this space. The ones that have really made it have got, they amazing communities, amazing people behind them. They are making a difference, and they have, they keep on. And like you said, sometimes we do fail. Sometimes we have to adjust. I call an audible, as I say, but we keep moving forward to the goal line. So I love what you said, and I totally relate all of that to business.
I love it. I love Carmen. Carmen is so cool. And when we were talking, Carrie, when we met you and we were talking about, hey, what can we do to help support the Champagne Wives Club? Just thinking about the synergy between you and our team. Once we knew like where you were trying to go with this project, and that you were the real deal bringing this to the market, we were like, heck yeah, let's do what we can, because I mean the space needs stuff like this. And like I said, we've got Anne, who's up here on stage. Also, the social impact of their project has to do with human trafficking. So Anne, I would love for you to take a second to kind of introduce you and your project, and how you're bringing your side to the table.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. And for those in the U.S., happy President's Day. For those in Canada, happy Family Day. And and anywhere else in the world where you're celebrating, we're celebrating with you. So,
I love that.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to join with you guys, and Champagne Wife Club. I love what you're doing. I when I went on and came on, one of the questions I did want to know is, I love what you're doing, and as you know, in human trafficking, there are 3 R's basically that we try to focus on. The first is rescue, which is vital, because if you can't rescue the women, there is no way that you can, get them help, right? We got to rescue them, get them out. And I believe that's what you're doing, Champagne Wives?
Well, we are we're doing a collaboration with the Exodus Road. They've been doing it for 25 years. So part of our 20% of our mint goes to them. They are on the ground doing search and rescue, and have for 25 years.
Yes. Exactly. We're like us. We partner with the 3rd R. So as the rest, that the 2nd R is rehabilitation, and the 3rd R is reintegration. So I love the fact that on the stage we have all 3 R's represented, because Champagne Wives project is working to collaborate with helping the rescue, which is vital.
Yes.
Reintegration is something that both organizations do. We are with Free the Girls, and they help with the rehabilitation as well. They do not do rescue, but they're very big supporters in, of those groups that do. And the 3rd is reintegration. And why reintegration is so important is a lot of times with women that's been trafficked, if they cannot make a living, and I ain't talking about struggling, but make a living where they are thriving and able to be a contributor to themselves, their families, and their community, they run the risk of being trafficked again. And that's where Free the Girls come in, and that's where our project comes in. We work with human trafficking from that. And there's also 3 levels of human trafficking. There's a sex trafficking, which is Free the Girls, but there's also what is known as labor trafficking. And we work with kids who have been victims of labor trafficking. So, and by helping them when they've lost limbs, from being, in working in factories that they're too young to work in, they're made to work in them, and it's a whole, oh my goodness, that's a whole nother story. But we help with, Abolish helps them to get limbs, because a lot of communities, once you lose a limb, you are considered no longer productive. And in fact, you become ostracized, and you're sort of resorting to begging and stuff like that. So we work with, like I said, reintegration side, and there's two foundations we work with, Abolish and Free the Girls. Free the Girls was amazing. They've been around now for 12 years.
Are you there?
I think I just
There we
lost
are.
I lost
And
Anne's audio, unfortunately. It just went silent. So I don't know what's going on with the audio today. The Twitter world is just driving me crazy lately, Carrie.
yeah, well, we're back on now, and
Not even
there she
85%
is.
of North Americans are homeowners. And when they've been able to put people through a program and 85% are homeowners, that is a huge statistic. It shows the impact, it shows the success. And how they do it, what we do is through collecting bras.
Oh, and I so want to hear what she's saying.
This is insane.
Maybe it'll. So we hear each other. We just can't hear Anne.
Correct. Now, I don't know who hears us though. I don't know if they hear us on YouTube or on Twitter. Or not. This is crazy. I don't know how we're on our own little world right here.
Well, she was definitely, her points were absolutely excellent on, getting these women that have been abused back into society. And really one of the long-term goals that I have is, really our first collection is 10,000 NFTs to sell.
Mhm.
When we sell those, that's the membership into Champagne Wives Club. I really would love to build this community to really 100,000 people around the world. And we actually help these women with jobs and teaching them skills. And, to me, I'm a believer that anyone can be an entrepreneur, but
Right.
there are things to do and things we can help them. So I loved her goals as well. But I wanted to hear her story. I know she's got a method right now that they're doing. So maybe we can get Anne back on.
So I've got text messages coming through that somehow we've disconnected from Twitter Space, but YouTube can hear us just fine. So I'm going to chalk this up to something is going on. The Twitter Space is absolutely just rugged. My screen went black on my phone. So hey, you and I are going to have our conversation here on YouTube. So it's actually streamed on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So we have this multi-streamed. So
wonderful.
This is where the action is happening today.
Yes. Well, here we go. So I know I was trying to look at Twitter as well. I know. But yes, so here we are. Tell me, so this Web3, how long have you been in the Web3 space?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got my kind of introduction into all of this in 2017 when I was just doing a little bit of stock trading, but then flipped the script into crypto, and from that point, I really realized that this was a space that I wanted to be in. Much like you've come to realize, like the people are special. We're all like-minded. We're all looking for something different than what maybe some traditional routes offer you. And so now, that was the crypto world. And I'll say this in my show a lot, that, the crypto world and the Web3 world are like two different ecosystems, really. The crypto world has a knack to go toxic in these communities really fast. Whereas here in NFT communities within the Web3 ecosystem, it doesn't. It's just a little bit different, right? And so when we're building these communities, we build these communities with people that are like us, and we all want to be together, and we say the same things. And what this the message that we want to bring. All about is one of community. It's one of growing. And let me get this banner off your face. There you go. Hi, Carmen.
Good morning. Look, Twitter has been a struggle, and so this is why we multi-stream. But I came in because we were hearing some great things from Royal Dreads. These are two communities, Champagne Wives Club and another community, and there's possibly even more. But look at the caliber that women bring when they come and build projects. They come in with a social impact. This morning, Carrie, I live in Las Vegas. You're here temporarily.
Yeah.
I woke up to some news in my feed, and this is a really great example of what makes me really upset. is we
Right.
have great people doing great things for their own communities and for the global community. And yet the optics are so bad. They call us scammers, they call us cash grabbers, and yet we're building on an uphill climb. And this morning I woke up to a headline that said Las Vegas locals become victim of pig butchering crypto scams. And this is
Oh,
how the media portrays us. And now they're explaining this. Look, the term pig butchering, this is a quote from the article. The term
oh
pig
no.
butchering describes a victim being lured into a false sense of trust with a scammer and fattened or coaxed into a financial relationship. Now, it is true that we experience malicious entities in this space. It is true that people are getting scammed in this space. But look at how bad the optics look. Look how they have framed it with context and put this awful word up in the headline that is going to scare people away from wanting to even be curious about it. And
Yeah.
I have been in this space for 2 years and I have never heard that term, right?
That
Like
is
there's a lot of
awful.
bad words I would
Right.
use to describe some of those scammers and malicious entities that I have met in this space, but I've not heard that term. And so it becomes wildly crazy for me to watch as our job gets even harder. But it
Yes.
takes good people who are relentless in saying to themselves and to others that we're not going to fail, and that we
Right.
understand as pioneers that nobody's going to understand what we're doing, and that we're going to get
Right.
called crazy, and then we're going to get
Yep.
told that we're going to fail. But if it weren't for people like us, we wouldn't have the internet. We wouldn't have some of the innovation that we in today's society really take for granted.
Well, I've always been a believer if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough, correct? So it does, you are absolutely correct. People that are looking at me are like, why would you have, you had this brokerage? Why are you into this space? There's so many thieves, there's this and that. But I think there's a lot of education out there on it, and that is one of my it's to bring more women and make them more knowledgeable of the Web3 space and really what it is about. But if you look at, there's really not a profession out there. I mean, the banking industry in general, you could say is not all perfect either. There's many businesses that are corrupt, but there's also, and what is always irritates me is somebody bad making something good. That now we got to, of course, but that's just the way the world is. There's so much good in this. I just think there's still, and we're still early into blockchain. I get asked a lot, the wallets scare people. They've been, we have to have all these protections. People have asked me, what if their NFTs get stolen? What if their money gets out of their wallets? I mean, these are the scare tactics that are being told, but they do happen. So I think, we need to have a community where we do discuss that and what are safe practices and how to do it. But that is when I talk to women, that is the feedback that I'm getting. So I have, we will be offering a purchase of the NFT through fiat as well. But I still want to continue the education of a wallet. Which wallets are the safer ones? And what do you need to do to secure yours? And I think those are very, legit points that a lot of people do want to know.
I love it. I love it. And speaking of the community, Twitter said not today, but we said we're not going to stand for that. So we got Turbo and Ann with Royal Dreads to come join us here on YouTube for part of the stream. So now we got the crew back after
Woo!
a quick little mishap there over on the Twitter space, but no fear. We're not going to let that stop us. So Ann and Turbo, thank you for joining us. And you were starting to talk about, I believe the point that you were getting is, you're doing the bra thing for the women, and
Yes.
so maybe back up a little bit, and or you can start from where you were at, because I think the whole time you were trying to talk, that's when we started to experience the audio issues, unfortunately.
No, thank you for having me. And I love StreamYard, by the way. We use it ourselves, so familiar with it. And it's nice to see everyone. I know that I've got my PFP up there. But that's what that morning times I'm normally working out in the gym first thing in the morning, and I jumped on right after this, so um I'm not camera ready.
No problem.
Oh, but yeah, thank you for having me. I don't know where I should start. Should I just start from the beginning, or and I make it sort of quick and concise?
Yeah, that's fine. And then this way we've got it all right here in this format would be perfect.
Okay, so Royal Dress is a social impact NFT, or an entertainment social impact NFT, and what was really important to David and I when we started is we really believe that we wanted to make an impact in whatever we do when we're doing it. We also wanted to create entertainment in the form of great stories and music. And we thought that combining that together would be amazing. So we wanted to support causes that we felt that number one was extremely important, impactful, and dear to our hearts. And also number two, causes that a lot of people shy away from, don't know about, feel uncomfortable with for
Mhm.
whatever reason. And the thing that tugged at our hearts was human trafficking. Just it's such a um it comes in three forms. One is labor trafficking, two is child marriage, and three is sex trafficking. And with that, there are more slaves operating in that than ever has been in the world before. And we know that it's a uncomfortable subject for many people, but one that we have to make a difference. It primarily impacts women and children, but there are men who are trafficked as well, and
Yes.
therefore, it's extremely important that we attack this situation. There are three levels. There is rescue, rehabilitation, and reintegration, and we work with organizations that deal with the rehabilitation and the reintegration. Rescue is so important, and I'm so excited that to meet Carrie, who
Mhm.
helps with organizations that deal with rescue, because we can't have any rehabilitation and reintegration without that. Um, Another organization that I am getting to know more about is A1A, because they deal with rescue as well. But I'll love to, after this, talk with you, Carrie, about your one,
Yes.
because that's that's so important. So
Yes.
with us, the two organizations we deal with, one is in labor trafficking, the other one is in sex trafficking. Labor trafficking
Mhm.
deals with the children, kids who are being held against their will um, in factories because their parents cannot make ends meet. Um, you know,
Mhm.
think of fast fashion and think of some of the clothes we buy in fast fashion in these very big box chain outlets that we all shop at, not realizing that there are women and kids who are
Mhm.
enslaved in horrible conditions, making the
Mhm.
fabric, dyeing the fabric, you know, that by the time it comes to us, it's been around the world three times. So a lot of even the companies that we buy from don't even know that it has occurred. But these kids, they end up losing limbs because they're children. There's no real safety precautions in it.
Mhm.
They're going to be less careful. I mean, adults lose limbs as well, but there's a lot of kids who are doing that. So the Abolish Foundation, what they do is that they pay for prestigious surgery for kids who have lost arms. And so that's one organization. The other organization is Free the Girls. Free the Girls also deals with rehabilitation and reintegration. And they do that by helping women to start their own businesses. And the business
Yes.
that they help them start is bras. Set them up in businesses that sell slightly used and new bras. So what makes it very easy for us is that women
That's
all
fun.
around, yeah, we all have bras. We all have bras in our drawers that we do not use.
Mhm.
And for men, all of you have, mothers, girlfriends, wives, sisters, co-workers, friends, the same thing. Sitting in their drawers are bras that they
Yeah.
do not use. So we
How
collect them.
amazing is how amazing is that? You can use something that it can just make such a big impact, right? That's how we got to
Yes.
start thinking. So, Anne,
Yeah.
congratulations for what you guys are doing and how you're changing. Carrie, I love what Anne you had said back on the Twitter Space is that for the 3 R's we have them all represented today, which is massive, and that's the power of
Yes.
Web3 and communities coming together. Carrie, like
Yes.
like think about the journey that you're going on and why you brought the whole idea of we want to work with human trafficking and why that was important to you, and now to come find out that there are other people in the same social impact realm. How does
Yes.
that make you feel that you're not alone in this?
I love it. And the more awareness, the better for the whole, for everybody, for stopping this. And Anne, I had used the same stat as you did. There's more people enslaved now than in the history of the world. I mean, how is that possible in year 2023? And everything you say, I 1000% back you up on it, because that is our passion. I felt bad. Yes, I love champagne, we love to celebrate, but we're celebrating as there are people that are just being abused in all the ways that you have described, and to just give back and make one small difference every single day, makes me feel better. That's what I wanted to do. We talked about, Carmen interviewed, we had a wind down we did live last week. And, one of the things I said is, where I am in life is how can I make a difference? I mean, how can it? And you ask, how did human trafficking? I've always wanted to understand a little more about it. I just never knew how I could help. And so through this project, I just really, over the last 2 years, researched on, okay, this is how we can make a difference. Obviously, I'm not the one going in to do the search and rescue, but I wanted somebody very reputable that knew what they were doing, and that could definitely, with the funds that we can provide through our NFTs, to make a definite impact. So I am with the Exodus Road. They have sites set up all globally, which part of Champagne Wives Club, we celebrated women around the world. So it really was a perfect integration for us to come together. But what is ironic is they need a place here in the USA. And, we always thought these things were happening not in my country, across the world, but they are happening right here in the United States as well as around the world. So we are very excited to do many of the things, like you said. I love the bra thing. I think that's awesome. And explain more about that. So if women out there, they have these, they want to give, who do they give them to, and how does that work?
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great question. What I love about Free the Girls is that they've made it really, really easy for us to make impact. So what we've been doing is getting the word out, and women can take their gently used bras to Aerie. Aerie is in every major shopping mall throughout the United States and Canada, and that's what
Okay.
makes it such a beautiful partnership. And they have come
Yeah.
alongside Free the Girls, and they box up the bras for Free the Girls and send it straight through Free the Girls. So they have become a drop-off center. So when
Wonderful.
if you go to Free the Girls, freethegirls.org, you will see that they have every state and every province listed there. And like I've
Awesome.
tried with people. Yeah, this it's so. Hi, can you hear me, guys? Still?
Yep.
I can.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and you could so if you go to the site and you see and you hit get involved, right?
Yes.
Yes. She hit that vote. Now see, give
And then,
bras. Give
yes.
bras. Okay, so scroll down and you will see bra drop off. Click this page. Go back up. Right. Bra. Become a no.
Uh,
Host a bra drive.
Donate bras.
Donate bras. Yeah. All you need to. That's a form shipping page. Okay. Good. One of those tabs will tell you. Maybe there. Give. Is a link, and up comes every single province. And
Okay.
I'll find it
that
for
is
you.
awesome. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
that's
wonderful.
great. And then and just so I want to make sure, and it's Exodus Road.
Mine is the Exodus Road. Yes.
Correct. And I want to bring that up just so. What's the website for that? It's exodusroad.org.
Yes.
Just so.
And Jay, if I could say something too, like I think it's good morning, Carrie. How are you? I think it is.
Hi, Turbo. How are you?
Oh, very well. My Crocs match your shirt right now. So
All right. I like you.
I think the great thing, overall is that with all these organizations, the ability just to be able to have an opportunity to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's as simple as us coming together and being able to make that impact. And I think it's just absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to say that. I see Jay has the Exodus Road up now.
Yes. And we did the interview with Laura Parker. She and her husband started this 25 years ago, really just I feel like the Lord led them. If you heard their story, and they've got a lot of their videos on here, it's amazing how things work in life and really how we've all met. And now, and we know you, and we're forming this, big community around the world to really give back. And as you say, the social impact is huge.
It's huge, and I love it. And and it gets me really excited, and I'm glad, and the joke inside of my head, and all I could think of was, let's just get a bunch of NFT bros together and let's go make a difference. But I think by you partnering with the Exodus Road, a professional organization that's done that for 20 plus years, I think that's the right, model versus, me and Turbo just
Hey, but you never know. I got my backup just in case, right?
You do have backup, and go ahead, Em.
And all I can say is that's where it starts, though. It starts with two bros, two girls, two guy and girl, or one person. Once you decide that you want to make that impact, you start and you can make a difference, and you grow from there. And that's what both Exodus Road and Free the Girls did. They started. Right. And people say it's late, but the time to start is now. And our first bra drive, I think we only raised, that was back at CNFTCon, we only raised 8 or 29 bras or something like that. But now we're doing it all the time. And a lot of times people say, oh yeah, I dropped it in. So I don't even have a running tally. I am trying to get one. So when you guys drop off your bras, if you could just DM Royal Dreads and let me know, oh, I dropped off 1, I dropped off 5. That will help, because we're trying to keep a running tally so we could keep an impact count of how we are doing, how we're getting the word out, and that it is making a difference.
I love it. And you know what? I think that we should take it one step further. Don't just DM you. Take a photo, do a video. Like that's the whole thing, is like, when media and what, what I'm trying to focus on is, let's create more content, because that content has a way to find more attention than just, whatever. And I think that can make a bigger difference, right? So it's the whole campaign is, hey, shoot a video of you donating these bras. Take a picture of you doing this. Tag Royal Dreads.
I agree.
Tag Champagne Wives Club. Tag Web3 Breakfast. Let's get everybody that we know collectively in our communities to do this. And then that becomes a huge campaign, and a lot more people see it. And then you got more participation. And then pretty soon, maybe they got more bras and they know what to do with. And I think that would be a good problem.
That would be awesome.
They collect in, I think they collect in some, I think they said it was something like 20,000 bras a month. So they are making a difference. To start a woman, a box is 2,500 bras. No, I'm sorry, 250 bras. Okay. And the 85% of the women who they've helped, and this has been over 12 years, are now homeowners. That's a huge certificate.
That is awesome.
Yeah, because 85% of the world are homeowners. Heck, I don't even think 85% of people in North America are homeowners.
Right.
So if 85% of the people going through the program are now home and property owners, that make a huge impact. These women can't be trafficked again. They're raising kids that are thriving, getting education, and becoming contributing members to our society. So
Well, like you said, I think a lot of it is with anything, even people buying homes, in America, I'm going to speak because that's what I know. It still is education. I did a radio show for years on, we talked more about the mortgage aspect than really the house. My part was the fun part. We got to look at houses. Of course, we bought houses and I would write contracts and things, but really the work behind there of getting people pre-approved and them understanding the process. And I see this no different with these women. The education is huge coming out of their obviously they've been traumatized to reintegrate, like you said, back into society. And really, education to me brings empowerment. And that is, I'm sure with Royal Dreads, with Champagne Wives Club, it is about empowering women. We celebrate their successes, but we empower them. We empower them in the Web3 space. We empower entrepreneurs that are, it is hard to be an entrepreneur. It has so many benefits, but people see the successes. Sometimes they don't see behind the scenes. I mean, we're not a W-2 person. We're not getting that paycheck weekly. I used to say you have to go kill what you eat, right? You got to go. And so that is to really give these women back, and empower them. We're making a difference. We're not, like I said, from search and rescue all the way to get back into society and give them hope. Meanwhile, we are making a difference and we are expanding this amazing space of Web3, which we all love.
You brought up something, Carrie, that I think was very important. I don't think we touch on enough. Is that it's happening right here in North America under our noses.
Yes.
Since we have become promoting, that what we're doing, I have had women in Web3 quietly DM me, and then, we'll get on a phone call and they would tell me their stories. These are women in the community who are working in, and they tell me their trauma. And some of them want to be identified, but a lot of them don't. But they love what we're doing. And it's sad because these are people who we're talking to every day in Web3. And when the first couple of times it happened to me, it just blew me away. I was shocked. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Because I didn't, even though I do know it happens here. But one of the things I'll be interested for you to tell, because you work on this end more than I do, is, what are some of the things that we need to tell people to be safe, to help them? Because it happens with, women get love bombed into becoming sex trafficked. So they, a boyfriend who, pretends that they're really in love with them and this, that, and the other. And next thing they know, that means sex trafficked. And they didn't realize, because then they say, I know where your family lives, I'm going to kill them, and all sorts of things. Women who are, come from communities, and that can happen that happens all the way from wealthy all the way down to really poor. And that's very, very scary. Girls are approached in malls who are underage. And they tell them to, oh, you're going to be a model, or we want you to audition for this.
That's exactly what they do. Yes.
So I would love to hear you, because this is where you come in.
Well, I am not the expert on that side. We are teamed up with the Exodus Road, but exactly what you said is the exact stories they tell. For me, we will be sharing their stories, because I would never want to say anything. I am not on the ground search and rescue. We are providing the funds and providing the awareness and speaking out about it. As you said, a lot of people shy away from this. I mean, when I post this on social media, half the time I don't even get one like. Nobody wants to be around it. It's they don't know what to do. And but I'm the girl for this project, as you are, Anne, because I just think we keep on and we keep that voice out there. What we are going to do even more of is reshare the stories from the absolutely what's happening. The stories of these, young men are finding these women. We know on social media, we know they're finding them in still small villages around the world. They do prey on the poor, but you also have, there's girls that go missing, there's college girls that go missing. I mean, it is happening here in the United States, it is happening in the major cities, and I think the awareness of that is where I come in on it, and I leave it to the experts that have done it, and I've learned so much for them, and we really want to just even get that. I want to have a megaphone for it. And I saw like an ad when the Super Bowl played. They did talk about human trafficking, and it takes our voices, and the more though that people start hearing it, the more it's on the big screen like that. I do think we can make it a difference. It is so bad right now. I do not think it's going to happen overnight. We can. But one person at a time, one group at a time, and the more that we pull together, we will make a difference in this fight against human trafficking.
I agree.
That gets you motivated because it's so sad. It's just like what you said when I heard that statistic that there's more trafficking happening right now than or human slavery now than in the history of human time. Like that's it's maddening. It's frustrating. And when we watched that some of the content that you've put out, I know that it just crushes you. Carrie, when we watched that video from Exodus Road that Laura had put together about the very same thing that you're talking about right now, where, this woman meets a young man and she fell in love. She didn't know what his intentions were. Like that to me is so disgusting. Like we have to find ways to make that end because it's appalling that this is happening.
It is. And, as teenagers, I think they need to be made aware of it, but they're still teenagers. You can say it, and they're, doing their thing. But I do think more people, like we said, every avenue that we can get it out, that's what our mission is.
Absolutely. We're going to be screaming it from the mountaintops and everything moving forward because this is our community. We are Web3. You are here. You are bringing your experience and expertise of what you do into this ecosystem. But with this social impact kind of move behind it, I think that this is something that I don't care who you are, what you do, whatever. If you don't get behind this, there is absolutely something wrong with you because this is something that we have to end. So however we can find the collaboration between Royal Dreads and Champagne Wives Club and any other projects, if anybody listening to this, if you are involved in this Web3 ecosystem with a project that has anything to do with human trafficking, let us know, because if we could combine more than two groups together, think of the positivity and the changes that can be made with this group coming together, this massive community.
Yes. It would be unbelievable synergy.
Yeah, Carrie, you're getting a lot of love in the live chat here in YouTube. Like, shout out to Ricky, right? He's talking about, look, we can get together with Meta Power. That's what conversations like this lead to. It's not open up your wallet and buy something. It's open up and invest in yourself, invest in a good cause, and invest in learning and celebrating. Your three missions to help give great value with, things that I think, for example, a lot of women are going to love with the champagne wine, kind of like the vineyard lifestyle. I love those things, right? And listen, I'm a woman in Web3, so I know that I am constantly in spaces, shows, and meeting rooms with tons of guys that sit there and go like, look, how do I get my wife involved? How do I get my sister involved? How do I get my mom involved? How am I going to do it in a way where I don't have to sit there and explain, 2D monkey pictures or, rat pictures or, rainbow pictures or pixelated pictures? Like we have to meet people where they're at. And I think it means giving them value for what they invest in, giving them education and confidence, because this is kind of why we got ourselves into some of these, social issues, is we're not empowering each other. We're kind of like in this ladder system of authority and power, and it's a struggle. And when people aren't built up with confidence, they're not built up with education, it's definitely tough for women. I come from Micronesia. My dad he has 5 daughters. I'm the eldest of all the grandchildren. And, luckily for me, I had a father who believed in me, regardless of my gender. And so, not only did I become a valedictorian, but I'm college educated, and look at me being a pioneer alongside the state. And a lot of it has to do with male allies who come into this space and open up and say, look, how do we take our collective voice and make an impact? It's more than just the blockchain gains. It's about how do we empower more women? How do we educate more women? How do we save women? And how do we bring that into the community and help everybody win? And so, yes, if you're sitting out there in the audience and you hear this is a call to action to collaborate. It doesn't cost money between projects to support each other. It doesn't, cost us negatively to bring our communities together for more good conversation, for more exposure. We lead with the conversation about diversity. Brings calmness, right? So these are fantastic things, and you are getting a lot of love and a lot of offers in the chat to do more. And this is why, we go, look,
thank you.
From our brains, we know that Anne is already on there. Now we have all 3 R's represented, and now it's time to march together forward.
Let's do it. I love it. Thank you, Carmen.
Heck yeah. Carmen, if you guys don't know Carmen's a beast. I honestly Turbo, look at us. We're just 2 chumps on this stage with 3 amazing, powerful boss women in this space. And you guys know me as a father to a daughter, as a husband, as a son, as a brother. I've got 3 sisters. I am a true advocate and champion for women, not only in this space, but for everywhere to have a fair shake and a fair deal. There should be absolutely nothing like human trafficking going on in this time of life. Absolutely. So whatever we can do to help, that I am personally on board. I know our company is on board. Turbo, I know you're on board. Let's get more of the Web3 community on board, because this is truly a situation that it just can't go on any longer at the magnitude that it does. It's just I got a stomach ache thinking about all these things as we have this conversation, learning about what's going on. Geez Louise.
That was one of the hardest parts. I know Carmen and Justin, you were on when we did Laura, and I don't know how she can go through it because I got so emotional, and it just hurts my stomach, but I still make myself do it. And it's I'm not going to put my head in the sand because it's hard. I make myself watch these videos. I educate myself about it, because with that, we pull the Band-Aid off. And like you said, let's start marching and let's start making a difference, one person at a time.
Golly.
It's so important.
I just had to say, Jay, that, being, in Iraq and Afghanistan, and, seeing the horrors that these women have went through, you know what I'm saying? I shared that, with you before, that was kind of their tactic of harassing us, is they would they would hit their women and stuff in front of us, because that was a local thing we couldn't be involved in. And so, ever since I came back, I'm like, look, I will never stand for that ever again. I will stand up for women and help. That's why I have my own women's gym called Fit Chick, to help empower women. And it's, it's an important thing. So being here in the Web3, Carrie, and, Carmen, all the women, we want to help. We just need to know how. If that means for us not to be involved, let us know. If that means for us to be involved, we're here to stand next to you guys and really make an impact and a difference.
I think the more people, the more voices, the more that we can come and do this and articulate it out to the world. That's where the difference, we make a difference doing it. So you guys are great. Thank you.
And by educating, it's so important. One of the things that we do have, when you become a Royal Dread, is you get onboarded to our social impact platform called Movement, MUUVMENT. And this platform is amazing. It deals with human trafficking, as well as environment. It deals with education. It deals with a lot of the big UN social impact causes. And as a group, we have the privilege of onboarding our team, our Royal Dreads, for free. Normally, it's something that Fortune 1000 companies use to help mobilize their companies into social impact groups. But what's really amazing, and we're actually starting to onboard our team now, Turbo's already onboarded, is that it
Okay.
has the information, has videos, it has readings like different articles, videos, etc. It has call to action. It has interactive videos that you can actually participate in to understand what you're doing. Um,
That's great.
so it's like it's what's it called? Masterclass. It's a
Mhm.
masterclass for social impact. That's what it is. And what we do is that everyone who becomes a Royal Dread has the opportunity to onboard into this platform. And then together we can make a difference. So we'll love to be able to find a way to work with
Yes.
you know, the what
Champagne Wives
these
Club.
so I'm getting all the words my tongue so that we could, like increase it because as a group, if we were Champagne Wise clubs and other organizations, if we could come together, we could really make it. And what's really cool about this platform, which I really think you will love, Carrie, is that people can go on their own and just start exploring and getting themselves educated. And as you
Yes.
start going down
Love
the
that.
rabbit hole, but yeah, but they're very important. They they make sure that number one, the information is vetted and credible because we all know that even some people in trying to do good, but not everything is credible. So it's credible
Right.
information, it's vetted information. Organizations like the one you work with, like the one we work with, are vetted to make sure they're actually doing what they're doing, that the money is going where it's going to, because those things are important. And
Yes.
so I definitely education is the key. The more we know, the more we talk, the more we hear about, the more we onboard people into knowledge, we can make a difference.
Amen. I love it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much. And Carrie, Carmen, y'all are awesome. I appreciate you for being
Hearts,
here
hearts, hearts, hearts.
and making this conversation absolutely what it was. Super important. I would like to do this again. This is the type of thing I want to do every single month, and I think that we grow the exposure for what we're doing on this front every single day, so that when we have these spaces, there's more
Yeah, I
groupthink,
love it.
there's more outcome from it. But it's a first great step. I am super thankful that you joined us. Sorry for the audio issues that we had, but hey, we made the live stream work.
That's right.
YouTube, you did it. Twitch, you did it. Twitter, kind of. We streamed there, but the space rugged us.
Yeah.
We will be back for some more Web3 breakfast tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully,
Woo.
Twitter will respect the platform that they are and work. But y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow for some more Web3 breakfast.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget,
Everybody,
champagne and waffles. Let's go.
I love that.
Bye.
Fine.